Hey collectors, I am Anthony from HasselNet, and today we will be going over my Transformers 2021 year in review for TFormers. Now usually I would organize a panel with BaCon of TFormers and a few other Transformers reviewers. However, due to my work schedule, I just did not have the time to produce a panel for a third year in a row, and that is also why this video was delayed. Now this time around, I'm going to change things up and cover figures from the entirety of Transformers War for Cybertron series. I will be choosing my top 5 most liked, least liked, and dis/honorable mentions. I've been putting this list off for a while, and this TFormers project gave me a reason to make it. When I am putting together such a list, I compile the tiniest nuggets of information wrapped in a tortilla of knowledge and sprinkled with quality assurance issues that make the most hardened collector lose their minds. While I attended college for journalism and incurred a debt well into the 6 digits, I dedicate my free time to you, the viewer, so that I may impart upon you my experience and opinions on various topics of fandom. Sure, sometimes, just sometimes, what I say sounds like a concussed football player after being hit in the head by the entire starting line of the opposing team, but I dig deep to write these scripts and initially have the fortitude to spit them out, much like when tasting some bad gas station sushi. However, sometimes I read these scripts like a teenage boy trying to ask a hot girl out on a date. With that said, we will be right back after this small break. Before we begin, please check out TFormers to read the latest articles, news, and reviews for everything Transformers related. BaCon and his staff work hard to bring you a friendly fan community built around Transformers. Starting with Generation 1 and through today, TFormers is my primary source for Transformers information. You can check out TFormers via the link in this video's description.
Hello, whoever's watching. Greetings from the Lazy Eyebrow with my best and worst figures of 2021. Best figure, Air Razor, one word, wings. Worst figure, Tracks, one word, wings.
For this dis/honorable mentions list, we will cover figures that are kind of middling for me. Not too bad, not too good, but neither enough to end up in a top 5 list. There is no particular order to this list. But first off, Kingdom Blaster. Seen here trying to decide to either shoot a Decepticon or go take that dump that has been waiting in the chamber for the last hour. He's finally showing up in online and physically in stores. Even though Hasbro said that the figure would only be available in stores, they had put it up for sale on their website after the new year. This figure was my most anticipated figure of 2022 until I found him in store on January 5th. While I wish they had done a Cybertronian take on the figure, who could hate that classic tape deck look? I'm hoping that Hasbro will release a 4-pack of cassettes like they did with Soundwave. It would be nice to see Sundor, Rewind, Steeljaw, and Ramhorn. Next up we have Siege and Earthwise Ultra Magnus. There is no place to hide his arms, and the lower deck is useless for storing vehicles. I think more could have been done for the Earthrise release to make this figure more closely resemble a car carrier. Netflix Bumblebee. Oof. At least it is a licensed VW Beetle. While that is a good thing, a great figure worthy of my top 5 list it does not make. I just do not see the deluxe cost of the mold when it comes to characters such as Cliffjumper, Bugbite, or Goldbug. Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. I know. This is a Studio Series toy, but his evolved form is a Kingdom toy, and I have a gripe. During my first conversion, a peg broke off on one of his exhaust pipes. You know, those ones on his arms that can attach blast effects. It really does not diminish him as a figure, it just makes it look a little awkward. But finally, Kingdom Cyclonus. He is a clever and fun conversion, perhaps one of the most creative in the series, but he is stiff in a number of joints. Plus, I have a concern about his stability when it comes to his knees. If the stiffness subsides, they're just going to be loose, kicking around. I'm worried about that.
Hey, it's me, Danny Dolphin, and my figure of the year is Tigertron. Besides being a total simp for this guy, I absolutely love Tigertron, one of my favorite Beast Wars characters of all time, and yeah, he's amazing. I love the chunk, the size, the Cheetor I wasn't such a fan of, but this guy I absolutely love. Get your Tigertrons while you can!
For this top 5 most liked figures list, we will cover figures that I happen to enjoy the most. Despite there being any quality assurance issues, that didn't prevent me from seeing these figures' true potential. There is no particular order to this list. First off, we have Kingdom Galvatron, seen here performing his morning Tai Chi exercise prior to ordering the deaths of a few Autobots. Galvatron is a fun figure to convert, despite some copies having the inverted shoulders. Now, I got lucky and was able to exchange my Galvatron for a version with the correctly placed shoulders. Also, hand cannon fan mode. Next up, Earthrise Optimus Prime. Optimus is fun to convert, despite having a loose waist. I don't know if it's common of anybody else's copy, but mine just has this loose waist piece. And the looseness is particularly out in vehicle mode, where his front of his cab can swivel. It's very weird. Next, Kingdom Optimus Primal. This figure's conversion seems true to the animation, and it's sturdy, and I just love the texturing. His joints are just stiff enough, the appropriately amount. And then, of course, Earthrise Skylynx. It is a NASA licensed and 2 figures in 1. Sure, he's not mechanized like the original figure, but the base mode is certainly neat. And finally, Kingdom Airazor / Pterosaur. This figure is petite, but still fully serves both modes. The wings really sell this figure in a way that it could be positioned in any way you want. And I really dig that. Now, I don't have the Pterosaur on hand, but I'm hoping that the flexibility to the wings, the functionality, all of those features still exist, despite not typically being pterodactyl or whatever, pterosaur wings, I guess. But I'm optimistic about it.
My best figure for 2021 will have to be the Ark. He's big, he's awesome, and he comes with Teletran. Best figure of 2021, in my opinion.
Now, this is my top 5 least liked figures list. We will cover figures that I obviously enjoyed the least, and for a few, the quality assurance issues made them difficult to like. But then there are the aesthetics to consider. There is no particular order to this list. First, Kingdom Track's Last Road Rage. Seen here trying to look cool until you realize that he is posing in a mirror. The legs on both figures are loose, so much so that it is a detriment to stability. There being a hinge on a clear plastic for the canopy and tight clips on the bottom of the windshield really bother me. At least my Road Rage had a decent paint job, and both car modes look great. Next up, Siege Cog, 6-gun, and other weaponizers. After repeated use, the 5mm ports become too loose. I worry that Cup will also succumb to this issue, but as it is now, most of my weaponizers cannot stay together in bot mode because they will otherwise fall apart. Buzzworthy Bumblebee Black Arachnia. From the Target exclusive 4-pack, this original version of Black Arachnia just reminds me too much of Peg Bundy. Also, I hate her face. In addition, her spider legs should be on the animation version, and the beast mode struggles to stay together, which is also true of the Kingdom Black Arachnia. Kingdom Rhinox. During conversion, when flipping the legs around to form the backside of the Rhino, pieces are stressed. I feel like I'm pulling them too much. I worry about wear over the time. Plus, there are no head maximal emblems, and the guns are way too short. Although, maybe it was done so this guy could be played as a bad guy? Kingdom, Beast Wars, Megatron, T-Rex, Tyrannocon. The tabs are too tight on the side, waist, and legs. Sometimes the skin flaps get in the way of conversion. During my review of Beast Wars Megs, I actually cut my finger trying to force open the legs to convert them into beast mode. I have sanded down the tabs a little bit to be more bearable, but after the first mold, you would think Hasbro would have made some adjustments, but no, they have not. T-Rex and Tyrannocon are just as rough.
Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFormers coming to you with the worst Transformers figure of 2021. It is Transformers Kingdom Tracks. Do not buy this thing, it is garbage. Junk.
Today's guest is BaCon, the administrator for TFormers. Since I am not hosting a panel this year, and this video is for his website, I figured that we should at least check in and see what BaCon thought of last year and any plans going into 2022. Hey, BaCon.
Hey, how's it going?
So I have 5 questions for you talking about the past year and this coming year. And first off, what was your favorite reveal for 2021 for Transformers?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. If I had to say overall, it probably was. Now, do you mean stuff that was released at retail or new news?
Your website is a news site, so you pick something from there.
I guess the Legacy line. I mean, we were kind of finishing up War for Cybertron, and so now we have the Legacy line, and the new studio series looks real good too.
Oh, so speaking of the new studio series, out of the new characters, which is your favorite?
Definitely the Soundwave.
That was the wrong answer. Continuing on. What was your favorite addition to your collection personally in 2021?
That's an interesting question. I would have to say that Black Sharpshooter. No. The Stellaris Primanon, the Star Convoy third-party remake.
Okay.
It's just a great toy. The knees have a couple little problems, but for as long as we've been waiting to get a really nice, neat, cool version of that, because the original toy is kind of a brick, but I still love it. So there we are. I think that's a long time coming, and we got it, and it's big and it's cool.
So what about mainline? What was your favorite from the mainline then?
From the main line, well, I'm mostly an Optimus Prime collector, but
right.
So that's a hard choice because there are so many.
The real tiny core class Optimus.
Yeah, that's a good one. 0 points of articulation. Well, there's my top 10 that you can look at on TFormers, and that was my number one. And then also the and the main line. I really, even though it's a goofy toy, I really like that jumbo jet carrier Optimus Prime. I don't know if you saw that thing in the Rescue Bots.
Yeah.
It's huge and it's goofy, but I like goofy things.
Okay. So what was something that disappointed you in 2021?
Disappointed me.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a figure, but hey, you're the one that likes the hamburger that flies.
Well, I think everybody kind of had this problem too. It was just hard to find stuff, and all of the issues with the shipping delays, and then you have the retail issues and being able to order stuff and get it on time. And then what was kind of really made it extra weird this year is you had stuff just popping up that people were expecting, a while from now, like those golden disc releases.
Yeah, that was surprising. I'm kind of hoping that the Tigertron and Pterosaur, those releases come out sooner than later.
Yeah, it's funny. Those were the exact two that I order, and it's like, come on, let's get those early too.
Yeah, those are the only 2 I ordered as well. I was, and I understand it because they might have to move the movie line, and then Legacy kind of has to fill in some gaps too, which is why now we have cross series releases like Blasters can also be in Legacy. So I mean, they're just filling gaps at this point. So if you don't have stuff to manufacture, move things forward.
Yeah, and if you look at the leak lists,
which they can find at TFormers.com.
So.
Yeah.
There's plenty in the pipeline. Already we've seen the Wave 2 Legacy stuff that's coming in July and April. So, good stuff.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to the most in 2022? Well, let's start with figures and then work on to anything else.
Well, I was going to say I was looking forward to conventions coming back and stuff, but it seems like the pandemic spikes are putting a damper on things. So let's see what happens with that. But Legacy looks great, man. I can't wait to get my hands on that Laser Prime.
I was going to say, what was the one you're looking forward to the most? But I already knew when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, Optimus. But you gotta love that bulkhead.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's cool, but there is like some people who are just tinkling on him, and I'm like, come on, it's a G1 interpretation of Bulkhead. I mean, RC, I mean, she looks weird proportionally, but Bulkhead, I mean, I'm hoping Knockout will look good because it would be nice to have a prime G1 version Knockout.
Well, it's a kind of an interesting take this time because Legacy is like, a gloves off remake line, whereas War for Cybertron was all remakes, but they kind of created this big story for it and stuff. So like they have a lot more freedom now. I'm fine with it. I think the Bulkhead is fun. I mean,
so because the one thing I thought was interesting was that Menasor, the figures that make him up won't necessarily be all in the same generation, as it were, because they're saying that a couple pieces might be from the Unicron trilogy, while others will be G1, maybe G2. So I thought that was an interesting new take on him.
Yeah. Well, we've had stranger things happen.
So finally, can you share with us some news about what is in the works for TFormers in 2022?
Well, we don't have any grand plans. I was looking forward to covering Toy Fair and San Diego Comic-Con and things like that again, like we used to. But I guess the plans now are to keep up with just whatever the new streams are and things. I imagine that because Hasbro canceled their plans to be at Toy Fair, so we probably should have a Pulse Con or another Pulse update or Fan First Friday coming up pretty soon. So lots more of the same. No, I think a Legacy will be interesting. Already people are engaged with it. So here we go.
So for those who are watching, this interview was made possible by StreamYard. To learn more about StreamYard, you can host your own live stream with up to 6 participants for free. Check out its link in this video's description. And thank you, BaCon, for allowing me to interview you today. As a reminder, do not forget to check out TFormers via the link in this video's description as well. So thank you, and talk to you later.
Happy New Year, everybody.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Well, that was my Transformers 2021 year in review for TFormers. Just as a reminder, you can check out TFormers via the link in this video's description. You can also check out in the description the links for the channels of each of the reviewers who submitted a quick review. The Lazy Eyebrow, Danny Dolphin, Optination Review, and of course TF Fangeek. Before we go, were any of the figures that I had mentioned on these lists on any of your top lists? Let me know in the comments. I would like to thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.